So in this video, I have these two scans. In the previous video, I cleaned them up. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your file. If you're ready to do this, this will be a demo. Don't pay no attention to this utter mess. I'm going to clean that up in a minute. But here are my two scans. I need to know where they are before I begin. So I'm going to go into Adobe Illustrator, and I'm going to say New File. We're going to work in inches. But let's do 6 by 6. And I want 3 artboards. Artboards are like pages. So I want 3 pages. And I'm going to change it to RGB color. We'll talk more about that in class. Essentially what I'm doing is I'm making these files look good in digital. So they're going to look good on the screen. Because I'm guessing that most of you, your portfolios will be digital portfolios. And then for raster effects, let's set this to 300 dpi, ppi, pixels per inch. Again, this is for a future lecture. And I'm going to hit create. So here are my 3 artboards. Now, I am going to show you how to move artboards here. I'll just do it right now. If I go into document setup under file and say edit artboards, I can just click on this one and move it over here. All right, so we get them kind of all side by side. Now I'm going to go into File, Place, and I'm going to grab my first. Let me go to my desktop. I'll go to Date Modified so that I can do this. One of them is called Image. I took a name. One of them is called Image, and one of them is called Scan. Let's do the Scan. So I'm going to find my scan. Hopefully these will be in a folder, you'll have labeled them, and it won't be such a rugby scrum. You can see what a tough time I have here. So here's my scan, and I'm going to hit place. All right, now here's my scan. I'm going to put my finger on the shift key and scale this up. And there it is. Now for most of you, if you haven't taken the time to resize your scan, your image when you bring it in is going to be huge. It's going to be absolutely enormous. So you can scale it down, and if you've got lots of paper on the outside of it, if you've scanned in an entire piece of paper, remember that you can just come on over here, grab your square. I'm going to draw a square on top of my artboard. I'm going to drag and select these 2 items, and as long as I have a box on the top, I can create a clipping mask. That's going to be easier because if you have enormous pieces of paper, they're going to kind of spill over onto each other's artboards, so go ahead and trim it down. Now, if I take the artboard window, which I can get, by the way, up here, remember everything's in alphabetical order, you can see I have 3 artboards. And if I go and get my layers under L for layers under the window, I'm going to grab this and I'm going to call this layer scan. And I'm going to add the other 2 images to this layer. They're all going on this layer. And then I'm going to double click to get my layer options. So I want to dim the image to, and this may vary for you depending on how heavy or light your scan is. You can dim it to 80% if you want to. You notice it got lighter. You don't want it to be at 100% because you're going to be tracing over it. And then I'm going to click on here and see the little lock. So this layer is locked down now. I can't see the little interdict symbol. I can't do anything with it. I can't draw on it. I can't move the scan. So I'm going to come down here to the plus sign and make a new layer. And that's going to be the layer that I start drawing on. All right, and then you would do that. You just make sure that all of your scans are on the scan layer before you lock it down. And you can come back and adjust this if you need to. We can move this around. We can edit the clipping path. But you're going to lock that down before you start drawing. And you're going to work on your layer. And then you're going to start naming these layers. Like I would call this one drink if I was going to work on the drink, right? I'll do a demo of that on Friday. All right, let me know if you have questions.